Alright, I'm back again. I think this is video 13. I did more work on the Excelsior today. As you can see, I did the top saucer trim. So I always start with the highest points. So first I did the one beside the impulse fins and thrusters. Now that was just the decals, no paint underneath. You can see how it's a different color than the decal with the paint underneath, which looks deep blue. But not as deep blue as the Valley Forge, right? In fact, might be a way to tell. 1 second. All right, I'm back again. So you can see the deep blue of the Valley Forge decals. You can see the blue of the... Well, I don't think that part was even recording. Anyway, I had to use Federation model decals on the outside. That's why they're the paler blue. There's the decal as it looks when there's no paint underneath it. I had to cut those into 2 sections so they would fit around the tail fins. And then you see the section I painted. Now it's a deeper blue, but it's not as deep blue as, say, the sections for the Valley Forge, so that's good. And of course I did the front trim, I did the bridge trim, I even got that thin section that goes along there and goes back to the impulse housing. I put Aztec decals on there. I don't know if I'm going to try, I don't know if I'll try to fit an Aztec decal in there. I think I may just leave that blank. And I had an adventure with the trim today. But I realized belatedly, after I'd accidentally trimmed too much off my second Federation model set, the one with the integrated windows and the blue, it has to fit around the Rcs thruster. So you trim it. And then each section is designed to fit in between an Rcs thruster. But because I cut a couple sections too short to compensate, because the other ones, there was a big gap, and they were over the Rcs thruster, and then I noticed it was misaligned. So what I'm going to do, I ordered another set. And I ordered an Excelsior Window Set that has gray stripes with integrated windows. That'll be for the NX. So the spare set I order will be the blue ones. But I still have, from the kit, I still have the gray stripes. And still got all the windows. But I don't want to put decals on top of decals if I can help it. That's why I'm ordering the integrated set. And let's see, what else did I do today? The diagram will show me here. So there's the top of the bridge. There's a couple things I won't use, so I've saved them for the NX class. You can see up there the impulse housing. Oh yeah, the nacelles. I did only the outside of the bottom of the nacelles. So there's the starboard one. There's the port one. So you can see here. Here's how it looks on, oh, well. There you go. Here's how it looks on one of them. I know, when it's in shadow, the camera washes it out, it looks like different shades of gray. When it's not in shadow, then you can see the different stages of blue. But you can see how this whole center strip does not have any Aztecs on it. But it's at that point that I will attach the nacelles and then I'll see what's left. Especially after the impulse housing, because unless I'm very much mistaken, you're going to need some right along that connecting bar. I test fit the neck today. It works perfectly. I might try Aztecs on that inner saucer. I don't know yet. And I'm not going to try phaser decals until the Aztecs are down. But that's quite a different, 3 different shades of blue on the Excelsior. How fascinating. 3 different shades of blue. So that's how it looks when it's painted. That's how the plain decal looks. There's the Federation Models one that fits that section way better than the Aztec decal set did anyway. That's why I did that. Used it. But I used the one that was more of the teal blue. But that's quite interesting. It's almost like the NX class had some paint remnants left over. But I love the look of the decal with the paint underneath it, but it does make it look too blue, too much like the Valley Forge, and you can see that color underneath it. But what I might do, well, what I will do, when I build the NX class, I will use the Federation Models trim decals first, always. When they dry, they're the paler blue that the NX always looked to me. But if I'm lucky, the Excelsior decals I ordered from Jack's Hacks Creations in 1000 scale will already have the proper pale blue, and I can use that anyway. But that's about it today. I mean, I guess it only took a few minutes to cover what I did. Oh, here's the other nacelle. Starboard, I think. You can see the Aztecs on there. Now, even though I use the lightest gray, the Aztecs still show up way too much. Although I must admit that on the saucer, they're beautiful. And I suppose I could use the Federation Models sensor stripes to fit in, but I'm going to wait until all the Aztecs are done, knowing I can still hold on to this section. But I am going to do the Rcs Thrusters first, because they, as you can see, they're engraved. So I can do those. It'll work. It'll sink down into the crevice, especially with the help of Microsol and Microset. And then I can put the other sensor stripes around them, knowing that if the water flows onto those Rcs thrusters, all it's going to do is suck it down into place, especially in those little crevices. But that's pretty well all for the Excelsior today. I marked up the guide. I've put stuff in little Ziploc bags. And this is, except for the nacelle stuff, this is pretty well all I have left. Oh, I think I did one more thing today. Yeah, early this morning, actually, when I woke up. I installed the torpedo launcher. And it's amazing. Those decal grooves, those lines fit right in those decal grooves. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. And then those torpedo launchers, they just follow that. Now I am thinking, you can see the faint red of the torpedo launchers. I'm thinking, with a very fine toothpick, get into those recesses in the center, those 5 recesses. See if I can put the teal blue in there. I'm going to try that right now. The new mixture, the slightly darker mixture I've made. I'm going to see what it looks like. And I just realized, you see that pale blue inside the teal blue? That is almost the pale blue that the NX Excelsior Thrusters ended up being. And that deep blue in there, that's almost the deep blue of the Valley Forge decal. Yeah, don't look too closely, because you can see the seam there. Don't look too closely at these decals. No, I like that subtlety. It's really nice. That'll get its own phaser decal. I did carve out the stand hole. In fact, we're going to test it on the stand once. Alright, I'm back. That's the posable part of the stand. The Excelsior can pose this way. It can pose forward. Back again. I'm going to see what it looks like on the normal stand. And there's the Excelsior secondary hull on the other section. Now what I'm thinking of doing, after I do the Aztec decals on the bottom side there, I am thinking of attaching the top of the secondary hull to it. It'll make it easier to do the stripes So I'm not going to try to use the stripes from the kit. I'm going to try and use the stripes from Federation Models decals. They don't seem to have them in the Aztec section. So weirdly enough, they have the stripes for the top of the nacelles. I don't understand it. The nacelle struts, they have all those stripes. I don't get it. But I am going to use everything from... For this NCC Excelsior, I'm going to use the teal everywhere I can. And only turn to the other color once it's done. But look at the teal color there. Look at the color it settles in as when a decal is down. It's a completely different shade, but it's good. I'm pretty happy with what I got done today, and I'll do another video when I get more done. Talk to you all later. Bye-bye. Alright, I'm back. I did the front part of the Star Drive Halls Aztec, like the port side, the starboard side, the ones that go right underneath the blue trim. See a few little wrinkles, but they can be taken care of. They're being taken care of right now by me. There we go. That's really good. And they fit right over the torpedo tube. And look, they meet. There's no horrible gap. Now granted, I'm guessing, probably rightly so, that those two should have been a bit more centered. But you know what? I don't care. Because if you look at that, I'm happy with it. It'll never be perfect. I admit that. It'll never be perfect. But I'm just glad it's on there. And that's all I'm going to do tonight. I'm not going to do any more because I want to wait for all the saucer trim to dry before I start saucer top Aztecing. Realizing the Aztec only comes out to where the grid lines end. So this whole stretch doesn't have any Aztecing, but it'll have Federation Models windows. And then Federation Models thrusters. And I can probably do the other side of the nacelles tomorrow. That'll be good. See, I can do the other side of the nacelles tomorrow. But I'm going to leave everything as it is now. Tomorrow morning I go to get my car's brakes done. When I get back, I'll do more before I pack up for my drive to Quebec on Friday by way of the Ottawa hobby shops. And I'll be at my model club meeting on Saturday afternoon after I visit the Montreal hobby shops in the morning. And we'll see how much more I get done. So if I do more tomorrow, I'll take another video, and I will splice these 3 videos from today together with the previous 2 I took. Talk to you all later. Have a good night.